Good afternoon, Oak Brook family. I hope you are having a wonderful day. What a beautiful day this is that God has given us this Wednesday, and we are certainly appreciative for each ray of sunlight. It's beautiful and cool outside. Thankfully, the storms that were terrible washed away the pollen that afflicted me and so many other people, and I'm very appreciative that that pollen is gone. Our thoughts and prayers go out with everybody affected by the storm from my hometown in Mississippi that experienced a couple of F5 tornadoes and did major damage. Thankfully, no major injuries that I know of. And also some of our friends and neighbor here in the upstate have had some damage. And I pray for the recovery for all of them. With the school, as I've said before, we are working through and working closely with the governor's office and CDC and DHEC, looking for their recommendations and guidelines and working through with them. We're also in close contact with SCISA and our fellow independent schools so that we make sure that we make the right calls and keeping all of our faculty and students safe. Beyond April, the end of April, we're just going to kind of a day-by-day approach. So as we go into May, many big events start to be on the calendar that we may have to possibly reschedule or postpone. One of those, of course, the big one is graduation. Our admin team will be meeting tomorrow and coming up with Plan B for the dates of the major events that we have in May and the ones that we want to make sure that we have a plan for and making sure that those happen. A few other things that may happen on a virtual level, and we certainly will have to come up with a Plan C, but we'll be delivering Plan B to everyone next Wednesday in the event that we are unable to go with our regular scheduled programs at that time. So just kind of keep a watch out for that. The other is I wanted to talk a little bit about good news, bad news. There's certainly lots of bad news on the TV and on the news stations, no matter which news station you happen to watch or if you flip between all of them. I would encourage you to do what I have tried to do myself and limit the news to 1 hour a day. You pretty much can catch the whole synopsis of that. The first few days of all of this, I watched it nonstop, 24/7, and it was quite frankly depressing. And so I was able to get the news, and I still am, for about an hour a day. Get the basics of it, see where we're going, see what's happening, and kind of move on with the day and look for opportunities to make improvements either here or with the school and working with our faculty and our students. I'm so appreciative and impressed for our faculty of what they have done in stepping outside the box and learning so fast for our online platforms, delivering the quality content that we have. I'm proud of our students for stepping up and every day logging on, checking their live classes, checking their virtual classes, checking online assignments and videos, and keeping up with those. It is certainly an Oak Brook expectation and something that Oak Brook students and families deliver on time after time. So thank you to all of our faculty, our students, and our parents out there that have made sure that this has happened along the way. You know, as with anything, you can look for the good news or look for the bad news, and whichever one you look for hardest, that's what you're going to find. It is going to, it's kind of like the old fable about the farmer and the donkey. The donkey stepped off into the well, and the farmer goes over to the well and looks way down in the well, and he kind of tries to figure out how to get his donkey out. So he tries ropes, he tries leaning over and tries lifting him out. Nothing can get the donkey out. He says, well, my donkey's gone, I'm just going to bury him in the well. And so he starts shoveling dirt on the donkey. Every time the dirt hits the donkey's back, the donkey kind of shakes a little bit, shakes off the dirt. When it grills up, the donkey steps up on top of the dirt. The farmer keeps doing this all day until the donkey just steps out of the well. And his problem was solved, and the farmer's problem was solved. So he could have just as easily stood there and let the dirt pile up around him as he would have been buried in all the dirt. Or he shook off the bad news, took the opportunity to step out, and had solutions at the end. So that's what we're doing at Oak Brook, and we encourage you to do as well. We are shaking off the bad news and stepping up and taking full advantage of the lessons that we have learned, the time that we have gotten to spend together with our families, and I really do appreciate what everybody has done in looking for the good news. As always, as I sign off with Go Knights, we are Knights, and I want us to remember that we have the full armor of God wrapped around us, and God works with us and through us and helps protect us. And in Ephesians 6:18 it says, "And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for the Lord's people." With that, I want you to know that I pray for our faculty, for our students and our families, our country, and to the end of this pandemic, each and every day, many times a day. May God be with you, peace be with you, and go Knights.